Hello, it's me, Julie, and today is day 2 of 100 of this personal brand blueprint that I'm doing. So, yeah, I introduced that yesterday. If you missed it, so today is about the vulnerable story, authentic share, that kind of thing. So, this is basically how I got to where I'm at right now and what I'm doing. So, this started, as some of you might know, my oldest son was diagnosed with Tourette's. Gosh, he's going to be 12. So this was probably, hi Judy. This was back in when he was about 6. Yeah, I think about 2nd grade maybe. And he's now in 6th. So that was like blindsided with that. And honestly, didn't know much about it, which is kind of like a lot of people. They don't really understand what it is. But turns out ticks are like the least concerning part of it, like the noises and that kind of thing. But there is lots and lots of other things that go along with it, as far as like attention problems and rage issues with some of them. There's like lack of impulse control, attention span, so Tourette's in general, the ticks and the noise and stuff are very, very tip of the iceberg, I'm learning. So that's how it started. And with that whole journey, we did the doctors and send to this person, this one can help you, this one can help you. And then it was, basically just the run around with bouncing back and forth to people who weren't really helping. So I felt terrible. He was kind of losing faith in me that I was actually going to help him, which was me. My faith was in these people that were supposed to be helping, that really we were getting nowhere for a long time. So basically, after trying a couple medications, we were just, it wasn't it. I mean, I was hoping that, we would do them slow and see what would happen, but it just wasn't helping him in any way that I wanted to keep him on it. It changed him more than it helped him. So this was a couple years of doing this, and I'm like, you know what? No, I had heard about CBD. I had heard, it's some kind of miracle cure-all plant, and I was like, okay, by now I'm thinking it's got to be better. It can't be, I thought it was some kind of hype, and like, yeah, right, it doesn't work like that. So that's when I went on this mission, and I spent a couple years literally researching, trying different brands, figuring out every possible thing you could about it. Like I say, I got my PhD in CBD now. But yeah, it was rip your hair out kind of frustrating to learn this all, because I found out with like a lot of companies that I would order from, like they won't tell you how to dose it or what to do with it. And I'm like, well, why would you not do that? And it's considered like medical advice for a lot of them. So I'm like, okay. So I seriously spent, I can't even tell you how many hours in different groups and reading things. And like one parent would say it helped, when they did this many drops at this time. I mean, you would go crazy just trying to piece together what helped certain people. And I mean, and if you've ever tried to Google this stuff yourself, it's just like, there's so many things on there that it's too much. So that's where I was, and I was kind of losing it. And so I spent a good amount of money just on the big brands, like I'd heard this is great. So I would try it, and I would get it home, and I'm like, all right, this is going to be it. And he's like, not touching it. It's disgusting, which there was a lot. I couldn't blame him, because I wouldn't even put it in my mouth. So there was that whole aspect too. And I mean, you're trying to help your kid, and with me and my back pain, this is another huge reason too. So I was going to go all in, and I would do this with him. And obviously I'm the grown-up, I'm doing the work. And it was a lot. It was a lot. So finally I was fed up with this, like I was trying, and I would even put them in the capsules, because the oil was gross. So I would put them in there, and I had him taking those for months, and nothing was helping. So I was about to write it off, because like my hunch in the beginning was it doesn't work like that. It's just people got this hype, and it's a buzzword, and it doesn't work. But I wholeheartedly wanted to believe that it did, because I knew they couldn't all be lies. So when I was about to quit it, it was actually, I remember it was April 20th. So I made this desperate plea in one of these Facebook groups. I think it was like, somebody just tell me something. And of course, it was about 150 people leaving their business cards like, here, call me, I'm the best, I'm the best. And I'm like, oh. And then somebody actually reached out and they were like, I can help you, what do you need? And we talked for about an hour, I think, on, you know, FaceTime like that. And she blew my mind, like, that people actually do this stuff. And she told me basically everything I needed to know and explained what I didn't. And I was forever grateful for her. And she told me about this product, and I was like, yes, sign me up for sure, 1000%. I'm a customer. And she's like, okay. Didn't know it was a business option too. I had no idea she even sold me anything, because she was just helping me, which is how my whole life changed within less than 2 years ago. She had told me all this and told me about this company that the wife, she had postpartum depression and she wasn't doing great after she had her kid, and she tried CBD, and that is what led her on this mission. But there wasn't anything safe enough for her kids, you know, like how moms are. We can eat the junk, but our kids, no way. So that's how it started, is that she had friends that already had the pilot program for the hemp pilot program at the University of North Carolina. So they got together, and this literally how the company got started. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed to hear. And I was blown away. So, mind you, I had already failed miserably selling things before, and that just wasn't my thing. But I had to, you know, from the hell I was going through, learning about it myself. And for some reason, I just had this gut feeling like I had to do this. So I went all in. I had no idea what I was doing, and it turns out to be the best thing I've ever done. So that's a good thing. And then fast forward with my son, he started just doing his things. Like, in this, we're talking during the pandemic when schools were closed, and it was lots of fun trying to do virtual from home. And I didn't know what I was looking for to happen, because none of the other stuff ever worked. So I didn't know what really was what's gonna change. But he did. All of a sudden, and I'm waiting to see something huge, but really all I just saw was he was just doing his work. Like, normally I'm like, okay, you have another Zoom and nobody wants to do that. But I noticed one day I'm just doing normal life. And all of a sudden he's just doing his school stuff. He's sitting there doing it, and he's not whining, he's not crying, he's not doing 100 other things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's working. Like, it was just a normal day. And that's, you know, if there's any other parents out there in this situation, you know how much a normal day doesn't just slip by you. So that was my big, oh my gosh moment. And for me personally, it was when I had 23 days on this, when I've been in this back pain forever. And I kind of just, I'll get into that another time, but it was a whole different person when I woke up that day. So I was all in, and that's how it started on this business journey, was because the way I felt, the way I've seen my son, and I'm like, there's no way I can let any other parent or person in general go through that hell that I did, and like just being desperate, grasping at straws, trying to find something that helps and trying to understand it and wrap their head around it. And that's a lot of work just on a regular day. But for somebody that's already hurting or going through this with their kids that have issues and stuff like that, you don't want to do that crap. And obviously CBD is a misunderstood topic in general. So I made that my mission, that I definitely wasn't going to let any other parent or person just have to figure that out by themselves, because that's hell, and nobody should have to do that. So that is why I decided to go back into this whole industry and start helping people, because it's completely changed my life. And I've seen so many people, like just in this company, because this company is nothing like anything I've ever seen. They're actually good people that actually just care about people and they want to help them. And it's different being part of something that's actually an amazing thing. So I know I talk about this all the time, so but I wanted to let you guys know that part, and there will be lots more. So I'm only on day 2 of 100, so stay tuned, and I appreciate it, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Okay, thank you.